Cancer. Welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot, and welcome to your cards for March. I've been telling everybody that after all of this 2020 disaster and the beginning of the Saturn-Uranus square, that 2021, March, April, and parts of May are going to be kind of the nicest part of the year. Now, a lot of the messages so far have been very clear. It is a time of surrender. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to be easy. The trick for the month of Pisces, and it's coming up reading after reading after reading, is the more that you can surrender and allow, the easier March will be. It's the same for every sign. We're being asked to surrender right now, to be in tune with a different side of ourselves. Now, this energy that I'm talking about, all this energy in Pisces, is actually in your 9th house. So this is really putting you in a super powerful place this month, and you are sowing the seeds of your destiny. Now, that's a lot of pressure for 1 month, I know. And you're going to feel every bit of it. I'm looking at these cards here. 10th house, the World card, is the energy card number 7. A couple of things coming to mind with this card. First of all, there's going to be a major emphasis on your 10th house for April. So maybe this is indicating that the month of March is kind of setting the tone for the rewards in April, of course. I see this being an emphasis on your destiny. 10th house is kind of your place in the world, your legacy, what you leave behind. 10th house placements can often bring marriages, divorces, starting businesses, starting careers. It's a real movement forward and an ascension process. It's also a very masculine energy, and I'm drawn to that green as well, which often represents our heart chakra. And I'm also drawn to that number 34 breaking down to a 7, which prompts me to the idea that there are adjustments being made. Now, you may not even know these adjustments are occurring. Like, that's how funny these transits can be. And because the emphasis is on Pisces, there's probably things going on below the surface that we don't even truly know about. Things going on within us. You know, maybe in the outside world, day-to-day life, you're like, yeah, I had some weird dreams. But yet, you know, those things can really affect us. There's a thinning of a veil, and we're opening up. And we're listening to the universe speak to us. And I think with this 10th house, Cancer, you are very future-oriented. Where is this going? What are we doing? What are we building? And the 5 of Swords here, the overall energy is that of irritation, of stress. I feel like this is probably self-imposed with this 5. Could be things that are happening, kind of delaying or throwing things into chaos. Maybe you had planned things to go a certain way, and yet there are setbacks or delays or the breakdown of communication. Now we finally have all of the planets moving direct. But yet remember that Mercury is still moving through the sign of Aquarius. He's still covering old ground. And I like that with the number 7 because it's a proper time to make the adjustments. So the universe is going to irritate you in certain ways, right? This 5 of Swords is like things that nag on you, and they can come from outside sources, they can come within. And I think what happens is you start to move into 10th house is Capricorn energy, your 7th house, and there is an element here of discipline. There's an element here of needing foundations and needing stability. At least those are the goals at this time, the focus. Now I look at this first row here and I see this Queen of Cups next to this Queen of Coins and this Two of Coins. That's very interesting energy because I think both cards are truly representing you. The Queen of Cups is the side of you that is loving, nurturing, providing, very emotional, but mature, And the Queen of Cups makes good, healthy, intelligent decisions for her well-being. It's not a princess. It's not a knight. It's not anybody who's naive. Like the Queen of Cups protects her emotional resources. So I see you in this Queen of Cups mode, protecting your emotional resources. And then I see this Queen of Coins who is super independent, right? Very stable, very stoic. And these two energies together is really the ultimate, maybe in our emotional goals. 10th house again. It kind of feels like the integration of these two energies would create the perfect, most stable scenario for you. And yet we have this Five of Swords, and right below that is this Two of Coins, which is the need to choose between two different things. And I'm wondering if you don't start the month trying to choose between what your heart and soul desires and what you need in order to feel stable and secure. Now, I do feel as though this Two of Coins is kind of an illusion. I say that because we've got this Five of Swords here. We've got the Seven of Swords right down here. And it just feels like maybe the illusion of needing to pick a certain path. Am I going to focus on my love life? Am I going to focus on my family? Or am I going to focus on my career, money or love? A stable, long-lasting job, or something that maybe doesn't make me quite so comfortable, but I truly love. Now, it gets a little interesting when I see this Two of Cups underneath this Queen of Cups. And this tells me that you are in a desire for connection. And again, emphasis on the integration, right? Here you are thinking that you have to choose between these two versions of self. And the Two of Cups here is realizing that you can have both. I feel like this can come through in terms of breakthroughs. And, the little things really start to add up in the month. For example, last month, retrograde Mercury, I was having all of these technological issues, right? Like the recordings were a disaster. I was really ready to throw in the towel in a lot of ways. And it really forced me to get a little bit more familiar with, different apps, clearing out my phone. I had 700 videos on there that I needed to get off. And once I cleaned all of that out, I started to really focus on how to make it better from here. And I think that really is what this is all about, Cancer. Here you are, there's an acceptance of where you are. And where do you want to go next? But what concerns me is that the Seven of Swords is in the center of your freaking reading. And I'm super annoyed with the Seven of Swords. She keeps popping up in all of these readings, and even though she is an air element, I'm starting to attach her to this Neptune energy that we're in. You know, Neptune can make us see things in a real distorted view. We could feel like we can't trust things. We could feel like things are really insecure. We could start to second guess ourselves. We could trust the wrong people. But the Seven of Swords, in between the Queen of Coins and the Ace of Coins, is clearly the blockage. And it's something that needs to be removed. Now I'm drawn to this prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus card. New moon in Taurus will happen in, I believe, I want to say May? April or May. I'm sorry, I'm losing track of time a little bit. So that's coming. Again, another emphasis on the future, what the future will bring, the rewards that you will reap. This is, you know, Cancer being super responsible about life. And I think that you know your worth. I think maybe for the first time, you know, as we've gone through all of these transits, you're starting to realize exactly what you have to offer. And the thing is, you are the prize, Cancer. You are the prosperity, you in and of yourself. And what happens is you realize somewhere along this journey, within this month, within this transit, that you may have been seeking that information through others instead of seeking it within yourself. Four of Wands in reverse is an inability to connect, to flow with others. And there's a lot of reasons to have a hard time taking a Two of Cups, an emotional connection, and integrating it into something. You know, Four of Wands is kind of my proposal card, my marriage card, the celebration, the integration of joining of two people or a family. Also representing additional support. If you think of a table or a chair, there's four legs, so it's solid support. But it's the support that you get when you integrate others. And I think what happens with this Queen of Coins is there's a need to be really independent, a need to do it on your own, by yourself, your own ideas, your own investments, working hard, like I have earned this, I have done this, this is mine. Ace of Coins. But the truth is, you can't look at your life and say, I'm unhappy because other people aren't willing to share with me, when I am not truly willing to share of myself. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. There seems to be this drive, this necessity to achieve, to know what's coming next, to have all the answers. And that's exactly where you get stuck this month. Because your goals, the prosperity, the stability that you're working towards aren't really the direction you're going to end up going at all. Interesting, right? Now, maybe the Seven Swords comes from actual burnout. Maybe you're exhausting yourself. Maybe you're working too many hours. And the thing is, the Seven of Swords catches up with you. It always gets caught, right? It's how we cheat ourselves. Skipping meals, you know, not sleeping enough hours, trying to achieve too much until the fact is we don't even like what we're doing in the first place. And when you get into that mode of exhaustion, it's really hard to find a way to enjoy life. And that's really what Taurus is all about. A new moon in Taurus, which is a very Venusian sign, which is about abundance. It's about the senses of all of it, like the good, like the perfect blankets and the hot cup of coffee and the perfect cup of pie, and just knowing that life is so good because of the simple experience and valuing that. The prosperity lies in the moment, and you're allowing life, you're allowing these other things to steal your moment. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. Right. Seven of Swords, Queen of Coins. We think we have it all figured out. We think we have all the answers. As long as we do this, 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 and this, the rest just simply has to happen. But I'm drawn to the star here, and I'm drawn to this Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter in Aquarius in your 8th house, and that is a house of sharing. It is a house of intimacy. It's a house of other people's resources. And I think what you desire is that intimacy, that emotion. There's a part of you, Cancer, that is asking to be healed. Now, circumstances may have forced you to be in this mode of, I got this. I'm on my own. I can handle it. And there's this other part of you that you've kind of forgotten, which is that part of you that says, yeah, but it would be really nice to have that other person. It'd be really nice to have that good group of friends. You know, this woman in the center here, the Seven of Swords, she is literally surrounded by swords. You seem to be encircled by isolation. Maybe isolation because you seem to be fixed on your own independence, your own stability. This can unfold in so many ways, like the inability to get emotionally involved in relationships at all, inability to pursue your dreams, the inability to believe in yourself and your gifts, you know, like that part of you that sticks to the things that you know will pay the bills, even though like you would want nothing more than to release all of that responsibility and just do the things that you truly love. And so we have this integration of healing. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. And I feel like the universe is really going to make you kind of prove yourself. Like this is all about that Saturn in your 8th house. And once you remove this block, there is a solid new beginning. And a Knight of Wands who kind of changes the tone of this resisting of the Four of Wands. The thing is, you become more open to the opportunities. Take a break. Get off the treadmill. One thing is for sure, March is not going to be won by working the hardest or working the longest. And in regards to an emotional situation or a relationship, you can watch 585 tarot card readings a day and you still won't have the answer. And that is of divine purpose. You're being asked to surrender the need to know, to take a break. Take a break from being prepared for all the things to go wrong and open up to the possibility that things could actually go really right. Maybe Cancer, you're going to start to allow somebody or something to open you up. And sometimes I get super annoyed by this Knight of Wands, but I actually really like this one, and I really like that he's next to this Ace of Coins. And the thing is, at the end of the day, there seems to be something that you are super attracted to. It doesn't have to be a person, and maybe it's just a situation, and maybe there is just a drive or this pull that you know that you want something different. Maybe at the end of the day, it's not going to be okay to settle for stable and reliable. And it becomes okay to ask for all of it. It becomes okay to ask for the stability, the emotions, and the desire. And the Knight of Cups is a cups of action. And when you get through this, you're going to find your strength again. Knight of Wands is unstoppable. He's a warrior. The struggles that you are going through will do nothing more than make you stronger. If you are struggling through a relationship, if you're having issues opening up, by the end of the month, you will have seen a stronger version of yourself. You will have clarity in what you truly want and desire. When I think I surrender more. I keep coming back to that. I keep looking at the Seven of Swords, and I keep thinking maybe this is you thinking, I've got it all under control. Everything's fine here. I've done the work. I'm on the right path. You may not realize how rapidly the storyline can change. Your needs are different. Your wants and desires are different. And instead of choosing between these versions of you, you integrate them together and you become whole, and then you attract things to you that are whole. Experiences. Your relationships deepen and grow. 10th house is all about that longevity. We have a Mars making a trine to Saturn. Mars will be in your 12th house. Saturn will be in your 8th. North Node, Mars meeting up in that 12th house. These are really big transits. This is getting over any form of self-sabotage so that you could get your life on track in the direction that you want. So that you gain that clarity. So you can go after this Ace of Coins. Now your last two cards out here, we got Otter Spirit, you are never alone, and Koala Spirit, Spirit has a plan. Listen, 8th house, 12th house transits, a trine between these two, please, you don't have a chance. Any illusion of control this month is simply an illusion. You're wasting your time and your resources. And quite honestly, I'm tapped in really hard to this take a break, because really and honestly, it's time to take a break. You might be feeling super dreamy. You might be feeling really tired, really run down. You might be finding yourself in situations with people, very cozy situations. Maybe this is an element of, making the best of the quarantine again. Maybe we're tapping into that early last March energy where we're like, oh, wait, what do you mean we get to just stay home? We just have to do nothing? We get to watch, like, what was it, The Tiger King on Netflix and just enjoy? And maybe that feeling comes back around. Spirit has a plan. Things are out of your control. And this is all in preparation for next month, 10th house transits, the moon's taking place in Libra and Aries. Big transits. You're going to have a full moon at the end of the month in your 4th house of home. And this is where things can really change emotionally for you, even change your actual residence. And if you are tapping into your heart and allowing, a lot of really beautiful opportunities can come your way. All right, Cancer. Really beautiful reading. I do hope that you have a wonderful March. I will be back to see you again for your April readings. Take care.